Today's day 40, and I have exactly, counting today, well not counting today, because it's January 3rd, no, February 3rd, 2021. I get off next Friday, what, 7, right, 9 days, like 49 days left. I don't know. I get off next Friday. It's just like a week away. We're back in Tacoma, and the weather is just beautiful outside. It's just amazing. I'm so excited to get off in a week. Usually I've gotten home, you know, most time, past couple years, I've gotten home like in the end of the summer. So I usually might get like a few nice days, and then the majority of my time is spent home in the winter during the holidays. And I just realized that, you know, I don't really get to enjoy the summers very much. And this time I probably won't either, because I plan on working. But it's just so beautiful outside. I mean, look at this. Look at that, man. Gosh. Washington weather. I don't care what anybody says. People always think that Washington's like a super rainy, cloudy state. I mean, maybe a little cloudy, but I can't remember. I know it's like Florida gets like 10 times more water than us each year. But then we're called the rainy state. There's so many more states that get more downpour than Washington State. It's like not even funny. Washington State just gets inches. But we get a whole lot of misty rain, which is perfectly fine with me, because I remember when I was in Piney Point for the program, it had rained, and whenever it did rain, it was like the whole entire campus became a flood. And it's just like, why do you want to live in an area that floods like that? I don't know. Okay. On to my point for today. You know, I was really upset I didn't get to work overtime yesterday. I think I made that video a missing pieces video on my Patreon, so if you want to see that, go check it out. But anyways, yesterday what they did was they went down into they went down into like hold one, I think, or the double bottom space in number one, because get this, the sink has been I ruined it. The ship has been sinking. The sink has been shipping. I just woke up. I only got like 2 hours of sleep last night. I was up at like 1 a.m. I worked all the way until 8. We had a random drug test on here, which I had to stand in the line, and then I talked to Charmaine, and I get to bed till like 10. So it's been a long morning for me. Okay, so we had left Dutch Harbor, and one of the double bottoms ended up taking in about 70 tons of water. And at first they thought maybe it was like that the ship had a bad pump, because, you know, it was in one of the ballast tanks or something. I don't know, double bottom where I don't know. But anyways, they thought that one of the pumps was bad, and one of the other ballast holds was like maybe leaking into this other spot. And so they like pumped it out again, and then what do you know, 70 tons of water again. but the other holds still had the exact same amount of water, which means the water was coming from outside of the ship. So they pumped it yet again. They opened up the sealed hatches for it and aired it out for 24 hours. And then yesterday was that 24-hour period. And because I didn't get to work my overtime, I didn't get to go down and see it. But apparently there was some sort of pressure crack. I guess where the bow of the ship starts just to curve up, there was like a pressure crack right, what's it called, the bulbous bulb? No, that's not, because the bulb's the front part. It's the actual like curve, when the curve of the ship starts. I guess there's a pressure crack in there, and there's actually a lot. Every time we come here in Tacoma, there's a welding company that comes on, and they go through and they look at all the new pressure cracks that have happened on this ship. This ship's nearly like 30 years old, so you know, ships, it's normal for ships to just twist and bend going through the seas, especially when you're going into, you know, the Gulf of Alaska. So whenever we come back here in Tacoma, a welding company and like 10 welders come on, and they're constantly either welding up pressure cracks or fixing pipes or doing something like that. But yeah, so we had a pressure crack in the hull of the ship, and it was leaking into the ship. We wouldn't have sank. I mean, it was so, I guess, however the crack was, it was a pressure crack, but it was just enough to look like they described it as a leaky faucet, where it was like so tight that it was just like, apparently water was just like dribbling in. And it had to have been sometime when we were going through, when we left Dutch Harbor, the water had to have just been right to be like spurting into it at a certain, you know, draft or something. Because after that, like I said, they dumped it out again, it filled up, they dumped it out for the 24-hour period when they opened up the hatch, and no water actually went into it when they opened up the hatch, because they were going to go into, no water went into it. So, but that's because they changed the draft lines to see what would happen or whatever. You know, they transferred ballast. But yeah, that's, to me, it's interesting to think that there's a crack in the hull in the ship's bottom, taking on 70 tons of water. We wouldn't have really sank, but it's interesting. So that's why I kept showing you all this, like up on the bridge. If you can see, I think I'm gonna use it for the thumbnail. Maybe I'll take a video. Look at the list of the shit. But the ship is still listing hard to starboard, because they transferred all of the ballast to starboard. That way, where the pressure crack is fully out of the water, and they're gonna have the welding company come on today, which they've been on. I signed them on this morning. Some certified inspectors, some marine divers, all sorts of things are gonna go on, and obviously they're doing cargo as well. But the welding company, the inspectors, all of them, they're gonna be sealing up this crap in the bottom of the hole, and then hopefully sending us on our way again. And another note before I end this video. So I got here January 26th, right? A week into being here. I'm not gonna show you all the information, but here's my copy of random drug test number 1. within a week of being here. Okay? And now, what? January, February, 4 weeks in January, first week into February. So 3 weeks later, another random drug screen. A lot of you always ask about the drug tests and whether it's hair follicle or urine, and you know, I just tell you, stop doing drugs, because it's that easy to make sure you're safe and make sure you're gonna pass the physical and drug test. Because outside of being on the ship, I usually take 2 or 3 drug tests a year, and you know, to be safe, just stop doing drugs. It's that easy. But you know, there's plenty of people, plenty of sailors that do still partake in some things here and there. You know, it's their own lives. But if you can handle yourself, cool. But just know that just because you take a drug test for the Coast Guard or for the Union or whatever, and you know, oh, you've been clean already for 2, 3, 4, 6 months because you've been on this long vacation, and you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna go to the ship, maybe I'll just smoke a joint like right before I get to the ship, you know, whatever. 1 week of being on the ship, I got a drug test. Random drug test. You can't refuse it. You're gonna get kicked off the ship if you refuse it. So there's nothing you can do about it. So don't be dumb. Don't do drugs. Especially don't do drugs right before you come to a ship. Because if you're thinking that you already took your tests, you could show up and they could do a random drug screen on the ship the day you show up. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Look at the list of the ship.